that message. Wonderful. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are super excited at the Missouri Developmental Disabilities Council to have Nicholas Love, who is the Community Inclusion Director at the World Institute of Disabilities, as our trainer today. Nicholas is going to teach us all about the online estimator tool, Missouri Disability Benefits 101, and we refer to that as DB 101, Disability Benefits 101. That program was created by the World Institute on Disability, which works to advance inclusion, rights, and justice of people with disabilities with the design and delivery of whole community solutions. So Nicholas Love, our trainer today, works to drive policy, systems change, and provider transformation to reduce the inclusion barrier. Nicholas has been working for over 20 years on competitive integrated employment, specializing in Social Security disability benefits, and has created and managed several programs. So, Nicholas, take it away.
Thank you, Stacy. So I'm hoping my screen is being shared because I am not seeing what I want to show. So give me 1 second. That's what I want. There we go. Okay. So welcome to this training today. This is Disability Benefits 101 or DB 101, which has been redesigned to actually serve you better. And that's why we're bringing this training to you today, to be able to introduce a new way of being able to share information that will allow for everyone to have the information they want about the complexity of Social Security, healthcare, how employment works together with us, and so many other programs. I want to first thank those who pay for and maintain Disability Benefits 101 in Missouri. So that is Department of Behavioral Health. It is the Department of Developmental Disabilities, as well as the DD Council. And the DD Council is who has paid for this wonderful redesign. So today we have a wealth of people here from lots of different ways and wings. And so I want to do is I want to start with what is our objective and what we can and cannot accomplish today. So our objective is to show you how to use this free, easy to use information and tools in the newly redesigned Missouri DB 101. I offer you the website, which is Missouri DB 101 is at www.mo.db101.org. And there you can obtain information on employment goals and self-sufficiency. Today, we're going to show you how to use Missouri DB 101 to be able to understand how Social Security rules work, SSI, supplemental security income, and Social Security disability insurances, which is SSDI. There are rules that are actually been created that are called work incentives that actually are there to help people move to work. So Security does want you to work. And so we're going to be able to show you how to use DB 101 to be able to learn about those work incentives and the impact of employment on its state or federal benefits. We're going to be able to help you explain the impact of earning on benefits while using these estimators. There's 2 estimators that are embedded into Missouri DB 101. I'm going to show you some of those. And we're going to be able there to debunk the myths about losing benefits when working. Because they're just not true. There are so many myths out there about people being able to work and fearful that they're going to lose all their benefits, especially their health care. And there are ways to maintain benefits and maximize your earnings at the same time. And we're there to just help motivate and support plans for employment. And the reason why employment is so important is that employment isn't just about getting that paycheck. It is a means towards community inclusion. Through employment, individuals with disabilities, I myself am a person with a disability, we are able to have true community inclusion. It is not without financial means that you can obtain true community inclusion. You cannot decide where you live, how you play, how you have recreation, and even who you communicate with at times, unless you have the financial means, the money from a job to do it, even if it's just to go to a movie or, buy Netflix if you just want to stay home and binge watch. It takes money. So we're going to show you how to be able to maximize earning potentials for those who are living on benefits. Missouri DB 101 is a user-friendly, Missouri-specific website. It is about you and your state. It is for people with disabilities to help work through those confusions and the myths about Social Security benefits, healthcare, employment, and more. And it's all within an easy-to-use, intuitive online site. You will be receiving, everyone here and everyone who registered will be receiving this PowerPoint and this recording. So stop frantically writing anything down. Sit back and relax, because we're going to show you how DB 101 is that one stop for all the information you need. It is there 24/7, 365. It is always there for you, right? And there's no need to be an expert or even go find those experts. The information is there at 2 a.m. in the morning when you need it. You don't have to go find that person who might know what they're talking about. It's easy to navigate, and it's a safe harbor. There's no personal identifying information. No buzzers go off at Social Security that someone's looking for employment. It is very safe, so one can explore different opportunities right there in the comfort of their own home and work together with service providers to have a good conversation. It allows for information to understand how benefit and work programs actually interact, right? We're going to show you those easy to use estimators and then the content around it that supports the information in those estimators. And Missouri DB 101 is lucky enough to have wonderful videos, little animations to explain the difference between SSI and SSDI and the impact of work. And I'll be sharing those with you. Throughout, there are access to the local, state, and national resources. So if you need more help, it'll directly guide you those. And the main thing is why DB 101 was created is program after program, surveys and demonstration after surveys, and research after research has shown the majority of people don't go to work who have disabilities and receive benefits because they're fearful of losing that money or that connection to healthcare. And there's so much miscommunication, and that miscommunication feeds that fear. And so we want to be able to ease that fear for individuals with disabilities and their circle of support. And for about half of the people on this, you're service professionals. You are there in the helping services and the human services. Yet, the majority of you were probably never educated or trained on benefits. And it's very important to have this information upfront to help motivate people towards employment, understand that employment is an opportunity and that it is a choice for them. Yet you don't feel comfortable probably sharing that information. So it's going to ease your fear as professionals on how to share this information without having to learn a whole new skill set. So the redesign features are beautiful. We have redesigned it utilizing industry best practices for what's called responsive design, which means it's going to be there for you and work the way you need it to, right? It's there to reflect the diversity of users. Some people want all the information at once, and some just want to wade in slowly. So DB 101 is redundant and has information in several different places so people can obtain it in different ways, hear it in different ways, experience in different ways, including the videos. It has a modern design upgrade in the appearance and the functionality. It looks clean, it functions better, and we've added new accessibility enhancements. Our accessibility standards are above those of industry standards. We are people with disabilities. We want to make sure that every human being can utilize this no matter what their disability or challenge may be. And it's easy to navigate. We have changed it so that you can quickly get to the most relevant information for you. You don't have to go through everything to find what you need. And it's accessible on all types of devices, phones, tablets, desktops, and it will fully optimize for the range of those mobile devices and screen size. And I'll show you that, which simply means it adjusts itself to fit the screen you have. You don't have to scroll back and forth to find stuff. There's also new features and content that was offered with the redesign. There's a user registration registration, thank you, feature that allows for more detailed analytics for professionals. And I'm going to show that to you. It also allows you to have access to my DB 101 feature, which I'll come back to in a second. But the registration, you don't have to register to use all the content. It is just for those professionals and perhaps individuals who want to have more in-depth information. And I'll show you that. It'll make total sense when you see it. And then my DB 101 feature allows you to pin content and tools as your favorites. So if you want to always go to an article on Medicaid, Mo Health Net, as it's called in your state, you can have those articles readily available. I'll show you how you can pin tools and how I use it. And then you can also go back and retrieve any estimator sessions done very quickly in an organized manner. We've also added what benefits do I get, which is new content to help identify and obtain user benefit information. So we'll tell you how to get the information about your benefits from Social Security. And then we've also linked the what benefits do I get directly into our benefit work estimator. So you don't even have to go look for that when you go into an estimator. It's right there for you. And the one part that I truly love, I've been using DB 101 myself as a professional and now at WID since 2012. We have redesigned the benefit work results page. So it has a bar graph that just to me makes so much more sense. And it's so much easier and clear to see the impact of work. And I'll show you that as well. In Missouri DB 101, we talked about estimators. It's what's going to happen to income, benefit, and healthcare when you're receiving benefits and go to work. You're able to enter in actual information on our actual earnings, or you can just say, you know what, I'd like a job making $15 an hour. What would that do to my benefits? So you can go into one of two benefits estimators. One is a benefit and work estimator. It's for people age 18 to 64. 64 is where we're considering full retirement, even though we know that other people, such as myself, have to wait to 67. That's just kind of a universal for retirement. So individuals receiving SSI or SSDI can use that. I'm going to show you that estimator. There's also a school and work estimator, which is for young people under the age of 18 who are on SSI. Very quick and easy to use. Shows you how if you're in school, you may not lose one penny of your benefits. So I'll show that to you as well. We then have two little quick estimators. So you don't have to go through all the questions. You get real quick information, gets rid of a lot of myths really quick. And those are quick estimators at SSI and SSDI. So for those estimators, it's a quick way to motivate and get rid of those myths. Maybe afterwards, individuals want to go through the complete estimator and get more detail. And I show you how to find that. And I'll show you when we go in. It's simply go to SSI and work or SSDI and work, and you'll have a little yellow box that says, try it, get a quick estimator. I'm going to show you one of the sessions we're actually going to go through together. There's a lot of content, though, also around DB 101. It is not just an estimator. It is a tool that is there to help fully understand about going to work and how to make work part of your plan. There's articles on managing your money content. It is, all different ways of saving money, of earning money. We talk about ABLE accounts, which allow people to save up to $100,000 and not lose their benefits. Most people don't know about these rules that are there to support people. Don't have to live in poverty simply because we have disabilities. We'll go into all the different cash programs. We'll go into the different healthcare coverage programs, help you stay healthy. And then there's content about benefits for young people. So those important benefit programs for young people and how to apply. Anytime we mention a program, we're going to tell you how to apply. We're going to give you that application right there. And then in the young person section, there's also getting a higher education. And while it's kind of focused towards young people, it's great for anyone. I got my degree at 50. It is great for everyone to learn about different options, your rights as a student with a disability, waiting to even pay for school and more. And if you have a sudden onset, what are the basic introductions to the resource and benefits and laws that help you when you become disabled? Because so many people have been told getting a disability is it's the end, and it's not. We with disabilities live very full and functional life. And as I mentioned earlier, there are videos. There are these really great videos created by our one of our subcontractors, Griffin Hamilton Associate, and they make these great videos to understand, because sometimes people need a visual. Sometimes people need more interactions, all to approach different learning styles. So we have videos on what is SSI, so you can learn about what is the program and what are the requirements for getting it. You can learn about what happens to your SSI if you go to work, and what if you're a young person, you go to work. We also have videos about SSDI, so you can learn about that and what those requirements are, what happens if you go to work on SSDI, and what are the rules that help support SSDI and going to work. So that's the PowerPoint. I'm now going to stop the PowerPoint. I'm going to go directly into DB 101, and I'm going to start showing you DB 101. Now, if you have questions along the way, put them in chat box. We got people monitoring that. We can unmute you and get that question or answer it directly through the chat. I will put a disclaimer. We cannot answer any personal information regarding benefits. So, Amanda, you have raised your hand, and I'm going to see if I can unmute you, Amanda. This might be a challenge for me. We're going to find out. All right. I'm going to allow you to talk. I hope that worked, Amanda. You can unmute yourself.
I must have hit the button by accident. I didn't purposely raise my hand. I apologize.
All right. No problem. I'm going to mute you again. Oh, it's the different Amanda. I have a different Amanda. Okay. Now, Amanda, the other Amanda, you should be able.
I can now, which is why I raised my hand, because I'm not able to type anything in the chat box.
Perfect. No problem. What can I help you with, Amanda?
This is right up my alley. I can't type anything in the chat box, not letting me.
Uh-huh. What's your question?
That was my question, but my a few other questions I had was, how can you earn benefits and be able to work?
I'm going to show you in DB 101 exactly how you can do that, Amanda.
All right.
Are you, if I may ask, you don't have to share, are you receiving benefits?
Yes, I am.
Are you receiving SSI or SSDI? Again, you don't have to share if you don't want to.
I don't mind sharing. I receive SSDI.
All right. I'm going to,
SSA.
all right. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So, right. I'm going to go ahead and mute you again, and then we're going to go into our demonstration. Thank you, Amanda. Okay. All right. So here's your website again. It's Missouri. DB101 is at www.mo.db101.org. Now, I'd ask you, don't follow along with me right now. Just look at it later, because we don't want to cause any bandwidth issues. That always happens once one starts to do a demonstration. So I'm going to end this, and I'm going to go into Missouri DB 101. I'm going to log out so I can show you something first. So I talked about the registration. Now, for professionals, and it could be for individuals too, but we definitely want professionals, you have access to everything except My DB 101. The top here, it says My DB 101. If I go into there right now, I don't have any favorite articles or any tools, got nothing. It says, hey, you should sign in or register. So I'm going to go back to the top, and I'm going to go, Linda's new little tool. Let's see if it works for me. I'm going up here to the top to register. Okay. And I hit register. I simply put in my email address, put in a password, confirm that password, and then we have user type. And in user types, we do have, if you're a person with a disability, you're more than welcome to create a registration. Family member definitely could too. But we also have list of, maybe you're an educator, maybe you're an employment specialist or a support specialist, or even an attorney working on trust or vocational rehab. So this helps us get better analytics so that when I go to sign in, and that's right here, sign in. I simply put in my email and my password. Mine's saved right now. I hit submit. It says, welcome, you're logged in. And now has my email at the top. And when I go to my DB 101 and I start going down, I have my favorite articles, getting past the myths. What if I work, I'll lose my health care, right? Just some basic stuff that I like. What benefits do I get? And then my favorite tools, which I'll show you in a little bit. I also have the ability to have any saved sessions I've done. And I'm going to show you these saved sessions in a minute. So that's why you want to register. Better analytics, but also get access to my DB 101 that goes anywhere you log in. So you could do stuff at a desktop if you're a provider, and then take your phone with you to go do a home visit or talk with a client out in the community, and you can have that information right there for you. So we have a couple of different panels. Oh, I do want to share. I'm so sorry. Right below where you can sign in is a search bar. And this search bar allows you to type in all different things, right? So I can simply go in and I could type in what's going to happen to my SSI, or in Amanda's case, SSDI at work. And it goes in and it shows me my work incentives to help me understand what's going to happen to my benefits. So I'm just going to go back to my homepage. So I search. At the top, we have how work and benefits go together. So we have a couple articles we pulled out, but at any time you can click all and you can get all the information. At the top, it says, hey, help find an expert. Here is a list of your Social Security disability benefit people. These are people who can help you understand the complexity. The work incentive planning and assistance individuals, they can help you with new tools. Right here can help you understand complexity of the benefits for free. These are free services that are available. You can find out about the Ticket to Work program. You can find about Medicare, vocational rehab, learn about other different benefits, and find your independent living centers, which are very helpful. Now, that's right there. But if you notice as I'm going through, there's a circle that keeps following me. If I click there, I have all the same information. I can break it down into the sections I want, or I can go into other benefits, get that directory, and that's the same thing I just showed you. And I can even make that right here, add it to my favorites. And now when I go to my DB 101, find an expert, it takes me right there every time. So all working benefits, what we have is we have getting past the myths, and we're going to come back to these in a second. Job supports and accommodations, work incentives, and a sudden onset of disabilities. But we also have a lot about managing your money. We have discovering ways to save money while working, how to use an ABLE account to help you save money without losing your benefits, individual development accounts to maybe help save up for a business or a home, a plan for receiving self-support, which allows people on SSI to get work-related goals. There's even information about tax credits that you might have available and trust funds. And as we go down a little lower, there's some additional information about benefits for young people getting a higher education in the school and work estimator. And if we went even lower, there's our video for that particular section. All right. I'm checking my stuff real quick with people writing.
We do have a couple great questions. I loved Amanda's first question. That was our whole reason for having the webinar. I think that's such a great way to start us off, Amanda. Sarah had a question.
Mm-hmm.
Were you able to see that, Nicholas? Is now a good time to answer that?
I don't know what the question is, so I'll say yes.
Okay. All right. So I shared it with you in the chat as well.
Oh, there she is. I see it.
Good.
Sarah asks, is there a resource for understanding how to plan for work when someone who receives SSI and Medicaid and understand survivor benefits after a parent passes. Are there things to know about how to either protect survivor benefits and understand what it might forfeit if working in competitive? Yes. And it's the same question Amanda has, because survivor benefits are the same type of SSDI, because SSDI benefits can be received due to your own work history or the work history of a deceased or retired parent or spouse. So I'll show you those in just a second. I'm going to get through the front page first. Our benefit estimators, again, here are the two estimators I talked about. I'll show you those in a second. And then we have cash and health programs. We pulled out 3 articles. What benefits do I get? The SSI, SSDI. We can then go into all, where we see the estimator again. We have those articles on the sides. They include videos. And then we have healthcare coverage, which includes all different types of healthcare available in Missouri. And so I will be coming back to all this, but I just want to give you the front page real quick. After we go underneath the cash and health benefits, we have those articles for the young people, benefits for young people and higher education for young people. And then we have our videos, and you can scroll down here and get any of these videos. They're very short, no more than like 5 or 6 minutes, and they will explain a lot. Okay, so I'm going to do a disclaimer. There is in the news at the bottom that will be taken off. We are having challenges with system changes at Twitter with no announcement to us as clients. So we'll just work on that. So what I want to show you is if I went into a benefit work estimator, I'm not going to do the full session. It tells you who it's for, tells you what you need. It says to get all the information you need. And then you have access to the what benefit do I get article that I talked about that's new. And it explains the difference between SSDI and SSI to help people understand which benefits they receive. Totally different programs, completely different rules. So we got to be aware of that. And how to get what's called a benefit planning query, which is what Social Security can offer about your benefits. But they also recommend you can use My Social Security online and set up an account there and get your information and report your wages there. So then we also have how to connect with your Medicare and your state benefits, including your Missouri Health Net. So we have information there for SNAP, temporary assistance. All of that is right there. So very easy to get that information so you can move in. It takes about 20, 30 minutes, which is why we will not be doing a session. All your information is private, right? And we give some information about some of the expansions going on and get more information about applying for coverage. Throughout, you're going to have at the bottom, you're going to have a date. And that date tells you when it was updated. On our gray area, it's all the programs that are covered, which is a lot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my DB 101. And I'm going to get a previously saved benefit and work estimator that I did just to save time. So you go through and you ask questions, you answer questions, and how you answer them will then populate the next questions. So this is my planned recap. And this is the information it simply asks. Ask for the month and year of your birthday. Let's simply know if you're near full retirement or if you're under age 22, because there are special rules for under age 22 that may keep people on their benefits. It asks for your status, citizen status, because there are different rules for that. It asks if you're married. I said no, and then it didn't ask me any other questions. If I said yes, it asked me questions about my spouse. I said I had no children. If I said I had children under 21 living with me, it would then ask me other questions. I have a disability determination, not blind. Blind has special rules. The only disability does. It asks my living situation. The person's living in their own place, and they're paying their fair share, which means they're paying for their food and shelter, their part. Now, you don't have to put anything for rent or subsidies, but I want to know about Section 8 subsidies. So I put in the rent that I paid, and I put in the subsidy that my Section 8 did, and asked my recent work history. I've worked a little bit, a couple months. I have this person on SSI and SSDI. So this is going to answer some of those questions. I have starting at a job at Target. I love working. I love shopping at Target. So working full time, starting at $15 an hour. I have a start date's a little older than what we have right now, but it's fine. And I have impairment work expenses, or IRWIs. These are expenses people pay out of their pockets to go to work. that they need due to their disability. And it can actually help you earn more money because it has a less what is considered, quote, countable income. I have that the person receives SSI in the amount of $361. They've received food stamps or SNAP in the amount of $249, and SSDI in $500. So when you're saying, can you go to work and receive SSDI? This is going to show you, yes, you can. It says that they have the Missouri Health Net, which is your Medicaid without a spin down, and they also have Medicare. So with putting that information in, that's all I put in, I get a summary that looks like this. My summary says, in this plan, you're better off. Your monthly income goes up. Fabulous, right? We're able to show in the stack, these are the benefits they get now. The SNAP, their SSI, and the SSDI, no work. By going to work, they're going to be able to, because of SSDI, they're going to be able to keep that SSDI check longer than their SSI check or their food stamps. Those both go to zero. So this person for a couple more months will be earning from 1,110 to 3,110. And as they continue to work, their SSDI goes to zero, their SSI goes to zero, and their SNAP goes to zero. That sounds scary, but you can see in the graph, they're still earning over $1,400 more a month. And we go down, they maintain their health care. In fact, they actually got more health care because now they have health care through their employer. So they have Medicare, they have the Missouri Health Net spin down, well, with non-spin down, and private health care. So they increase their healthcare options. Bottom line, you have more monthly income. Your free healthcare continues, subject to the resource limit. I'll show you how to get around that too. And your SSDI and your SSI and your SNAP go to zero. Your rent will increase with a reduction to your subsidies. How much? I'll show you in a moment. And they give you some what nows. They also start explaining some rules about just because your SSI goes to zero doesn't mean you lose your Mo Health Net. You get what's called 1619B, which means, hey, I make so much money, my benefit's zero, I still get to keep my Medicaid. Your SSDI went to zero because they're working up substantial gainful activity. If you don't know what that is, SGA, you just click any of these and it gives you the definition, which means they're earning over $1,470 a month for an individual who's not blind. So I'm going to go back up. It says here, show the timeline. Anytime there's a change. The timeline, which is also over here, is a great way to show you any significant change. So it explains what happens when this person goes to work. It explains their trial work period, which are opportunities to try work where you can make as much money as you want when you first start working if you're on SSDI. And you can go through those trial work periods and then a grace period. And this is when their check goes to zero. And you can learn about what's happening at that time. You can click into your monthly expenses at any time, get that full information about those benefits, including taxes and anything in blue. Click on there and it gives you the math. If you want to get in the weeds, you are more than welcome to get in the weeds. Some people just want to know, hey, how much money am I getting this month? Here we go. Okay. So here's what they're earning. Here's all their taxes. I'm going to go back to my timeline. And I'm going to show you because why I wanted to talk about the subsidies. It explains here, I should go up a little higher, my apologies, that we are assuming that the earned income disregard comes in play, which means the first year after you go to work, none of your income will affect your rent. But a year later, as I go down, this person means only half of their earnings. So it's able to tell them that their subsidy is reduced from the 600 to the 337, and their rent will increase to 562. And in the second year, they count all the money and it tells how their subsidy reduced to and what their new rent will be. So you can get really into the weeds with all this. Go in the next steps, create a report. You can email this to people. Really, really helpful. So simply by putting information in to the estimator, you can learn what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to give you an example of how this kind of stuff works. I want to show you what happens when you go to work, and I'm going to show you with SSI first. I'm going to go to
Hey,
my DB1. Yes.
Nicholas,
Question?
sorry.
Yes.
There are quite a few questions in the
Uh-huh.
Q&A box, and I don't know if you want to pause and address some of them.
Okay. So I'm talking about marriage rights. Is one question. There is, if you are married, there are rules that apply to you. Those are explained. Those rules apply to people on SSI, not SSDI. They're explained in the SSI basics, where it explains the difference between if you're living as an individual or as a couple. What if your employer is a small business and you're not full-time and you don't get healthcare? So depending on if you receive SSI or SSDI, if you receive SSI, you have Medicaid, which is Missouri Health Net. If you get SSDI, you get Medicare. There are rules to help you maintain, and I'm going to show you where you can learn to maintain, even if you don't have an employer that can give you health care. The other question is, someone loses their job, what is the process for getting back on SSDI? I'm going to show you that in a second. Is there a way to put in someone's benefit and in the report, see how money per month? Yes, that is exactly, I'm going to show you that next, how you can do a tool to show monthly what's going to happen. If the client is receiving SSDI survivor, do they lose their survivor benefits at a certain age? No, they do not, but that's not necessarily something I want to get into the details because there's some stipulations. Those people, you know what those questions? 1 second. Those questions that I can't answer, circle. Here's your experts. What do you want to do? You want to go to, my apologies, how work affects your SSI and SSDI. These are trained professionals in Missouri who can help you with your specific questions. I'm going to show you how to use a tool, and I'm going to show you how to use that tool to get some information or find the people who need it. So if you need more information, you can contact these people. And so how work affects SSI and SSDI right here with the little circle. Yes, Gina.
So, and Stacy and I also were kind of chatting with folks. So there are some questions that moved to the answered column, but they're not actually answered yet. So
Okay, well,
one
I'm
of them
going to
is,
hold, go ahead.
okay,
Go
what
ahead.
if you live in Missouri but work on a grant with self-advocates that live around the US? Could you use this to look up their state, about their state's benefits?
So DB 101 is only in 11 states. At the top where I signed in, there's a little drag down. It tells you what states they're in. Do not use these tools to be able to answer questions in other states. There are different rules. Each state has their own Medicaid. You need to have state-specific information. All right, I'm going to get into the fun part.
Okay, we'll have some more, but we'll get back to
Right.
those.
So I
Okay.
want to get to the more generic term. I'm trying to sense again. We're recording it and I'm stuttering. Good. I want to get into some more generic situations so that we can really focus on giving the most information to everyone. I know a lot of you got a lot of what about me's, and that's important. You are valuably important to me, but I want to get as much as I can, and I only have an hour. So I'm in my DB 101, and I saved my favorite tools on what SSI. Okay, and I want to show you where that is. Remember, I showed you a little slide. I'm in my programs. I'm going to back out. I'm in my programs. I'm in SSI. And I went down to simply, what's going to happen to my SSI and work? SSI and work, go there. And there's my tool, and I've added my favorite. So it took me directly there. And I'm going to show you how simple these tools are and how you can figure out monthly income. Now, let's say somebody gets SSI in the full amount that is currently $914. They do not get a monthly subsidies for being blind. Remember, blind's the only disability. It's different, right? And it asks if they're blind. If you said yes, they're going to do all the math differently. You don't have to do anything differently. Click a button. If they're under the age of 2 and you say yes, they're going to ask about going to school at least half time. If you don't know what that means, click the little question button and it explains. We're going to say they're not in school. And they haven't worked in the last couple of months. If they did, they'd ask more questions, but they didn't. So it's all grayed out. And then you just want to make a plan. Don't even have to use math. Help me calculate this. Let's say somebody is, and we're going to start with basic and how to motivate people. Let's say somebody's going to earn minimum wage in Missouri, which is currently $11.15. Again, people can earn as much as they want. The answer, by the way, how much can I earn is always how much do you need? So let's start as foundation. We're going to start at minimum wage, no tips. Tips are income. And we're going to start at 20 hours as part-time. It tells us what our expected monthly earnings are. We use these expenses. We can also talk about work incentives, impairment-related work incentives, something you need to pay out of your pocket related to disability to go to work, is approved by Social Security of the state of Missouri. So those could be personal care assistance, et cetera, prescription drugs, anything that you need for your work that your doctor says you need to go to work. A hearing aid, batteries, you're going to use it off for work. You're also going to use it for work. We're going to say they don't have any, just make your life easier. But those impairment-related work expenses will allow you to earn more money. So I click that button. It says, hey, you'll have more income. And we're very easy to show. They have now at their 914, what their earnings will be, which is $970, and what their new check will be, $471. This allows people to know every month what is going to happen. Social Security is a 2-month delay. And we're able to say that they have $527.53 more a month. Now, if you're a professional and someone says, I can't go to work due to my disability, have the conversation of what would you change if you had $527 more a month? And then show them the sample, and you can always change it and increase it, change the plan. It says you're going to have more earnings than offset your SSI reduction, because for every $2 you earn for SSI, you get to keep one of your dollars. You'll be eligible for your Mo Healthcare Net, which is your Medicare, and how much more money you will have. And it says talk to a benefit specialist or go to that full thing. I can then change this and I can say, okay, well, what if I want to earn more money? What if I'm going to earn $13 an hour? Use these earnings, continue that, and it shows me that. Very simple to use. That is how these estimators work. I'm going to very quickly also show you in home, and I'm going to go into just on the front panel, SSDI. So many different ways to get to the same information. So you don't have to remember what I did. Just go and click, it's there. Here are the rules for Social Security. These are all the rules, a trial work period, et cetera. This is if you're on SSDI. So this is for those who've asked about the survivor, which is the same thing as SSDI. Let's say someone receiving $1,100 of benefits, not blind. And it asks if I used any of my trial work periods. These are different months. Different years have different amounts of, if you had these earnings, it triggers. So in 2023, if you earned over $1,050, right? If I say, yes, I've done some work, you get what's called this 5-year rolling window. And I can say, okay, let's say I worked in 2018 and I earned over $850 right there. And I worked in December for some seasonal work. And then 2019 was earning over $880, again, some seasonal work. But what happened is, oh my God, I was doing so well that in 2020, they hired me full-time. I was earning over $910. I was cranking in January, cranking in February. I was working. And then this pandemic happened and I lost my job. Okay. I've used 4 of my trial work period. I lost my job. I report that I lost my job, which is one of the questions, and Social Security reissues my benefits because I still have benefits coming to me and I'm still eligible. It says I've used 4 trial work periods. I then make a plan. Let's say I'm going to make $14 an hour, and I'm going to be working 32 hours, and I'm going to use these benefits. And let's say I am going to say that I am paying $200 for a personal care assistant a month, and I've got $150 in prescription drugs. I use those. Continue. And I'm able to see what happens to my benefits. Okay, here's my SSDI. Through my trial work period, my grace, I am earning, I'm keeping my full check and my income. And then I make over, after my trial work period, I don't get my SSDI anymore, but I now am earning this much money, right? But there's 36 months. This is extended period eligibility, where you have the ability to earn above or below this SGA, which is an earning they think. So if 1 month I earn below the SGA, which is currently at, I can't even look it up myself, currently at 1,470. If I earned above that, I wouldn't get my check. I earn below it, I do. And that goes on for 36 months. And it explains all of it right here to you. Very simple to use. All right. Not only, though, do we have about what happens when I go to work, each program starts with the basic information. It also tells you how to apply for benefits, including having the application right there, phone numbers, how to find your local Social Security offices in Missouri, and how to get your application ready, and what other benefits you might want to look at. It tells you how to report wages. It says, how does Social Security consider if you have a disability? And then again, the SSDI and work, it explains all the rules to you. You just expand them out and it explains all the rules to you, including what happens if you have to quit your job and go back on benefits after you've used all your rules, expedited reinstatement. We also have a video that explains it to you. We have the same thing back on home with an SSDI. Or sorry, SSI. I usually do it backwards. Where you can go in and apply for benefits. Here's your online. This even has a checklist for how to get what paperwork do you need? What paperwork do you need for your medical condition, your income, all of that. And what other programs you might apply for while you're trying to get your benefits. Well, how to report those changes. So you need to report changes SSI, and you can even do that on an app or on My Social Security. So how to report. So if you report your wages, you're going to be doing good. You won't have to worry about overpayments. But if you had one, here's how to appeal and deal with the overpayment issues. We give you even frequently asked questions and next steps, which kind of gives you a little summary. I can even go now into my benefits for cash and healthcare, and I can find all the healthcare that works for me. Disability-based income, right, is your Mo Health Net. This is Medicaid. This is how you keep your healthcare. And in Missouri, I love this feature. You have this little gray box that tells you if you're going to be eligible. So is it right for you? Well, are you a U.S. citizen or eligible immigrant? Do you have a disability or are you senior? If you have low incomes or low resources, this is how you apply. But what if I make too much money for Mo Health? You can do the Mo Health Net Ticket to Work Health Assurance, not a small title. And this is if you're age 16 to 64, have a disability, and you work. And that allows you to earn way more money, and you might have to pay a premium. But as an individual, your premium is going to be no more than $156. It explains it all in here to you. So here's where I just said that, right? For an individual, for a couple, it's $211. It's in there. I'm not making stuff up. How to sign it up is not stuff I know. It's stuff I've read and can direct you to. I can learn about Medicare, I can learn about employer-sponsored healthcare, and I can even learn about individual healthcare on healthcare.gov, which doesn't, you don't have to have a disability, right? If you can't get employer-sponsored healthcare because it's a small business, maybe this is what you need if you don't have the other benefits. All right, we are getting close to the end, so I want to see if there's any burning questions before I go into this next session. Gina or Stacy?
There are several questions. Do you want to go through them really quickly?
I want to go in here, unless you think they're not going to apply to what I'm going to say next, into work and benefits, Gina.
Well, go ahead and do it because we can answer any questions in writing and send it out with the PowerPoint if we're not
All
able to
right.
get to them, right?
Yes, so let's go to this. This is the first top section, saving the best for last. It's called How Work and Benefits Go Together. And it has Getting Past the Myth. Getting Past the Myth has the 7 most major myths. Most of the questions I think you're asking are going to be answered in here. If I work, will I lose my SSI or SSDI? You can click in there. It gives you like a little scenario. My friend told me he lost his Social Security when he went to work, right? Everybody has that horror story. It explains the difference between SSI right here, how to pay for assisted technology, and it has a video. It then talks about what is Social Security disability insurance, those basic rules, and a video. While at work, I'll lose my health care. Here's a scenario. It explains it could be a huge concern, but you can maintain health care. How can you maintain Medicare while working? How can you maintain Mo Health Net while working? What if you have Mo, that is hard to say, Mo Health Net with a spend down? What's 1619B? That simply means your SSI check went to 0 because you were working, but you still get your Medicaid. And here is that Mo Health Net Ticket to Work Health Assurance Program. And if I want to know more about it, I click there and I'm right back to the article I just showed you previously. So you can get a little information or go deeper into it. Right. One of the big things, if my benefit stops, I'm never going to get them back again. That's also a myth. So we explain how you can keep your benefits, how there's expedited reinstatement for SSI as well as SSDI. And we can take you right to those articles. So that is within the work and benefits, getting past the myth. We also have about job supports and accommodations. Work incentives are those rules that are throughout. So we can even go right into those and learn about SSI, SSDI, and healthcare. So what are the healthcare benefits that are going to help me keep my healthcare and work incentives? I want to very quickly show there's a sudden onset. And then I want to talk about saving monies because I want to talk about an ABLE account. An ABLE account allows individuals to save up to $100,000, not $2,000 for an individual, $3,000 for a couple. $100,000 in a tax exempt savings account. So you doesn't affect your SSI, doesn't affect your Medicaid, it doesn't affect food stamps. It shows how to open an account, how you qualify, how to even compare, because you can do it in a different state, how to spend the money, and if you go to work, you can actually put more money in. You can annually put $17,000 in. And if you go to work, you can put an additional $13,590. All right here. It is not in my head. It's what I'm reading. And what can you spend it on? Pretty much anything for your daily life, because ABLE means achieving a better life experience. And how to use an ABLE account with a special needs trust is all right there. And if I went up here, we even talk about trust funds and how to find trust funds that work for you. We also have ability to set aside money to maybe even start your own business. So planning to self-support. What I recommend is go through DB 101 because it's going to have a lot of information. Use your search. It's all the information you need. I didn't get into the young benefits for young people, but it's there, the key eligibility. And again, It has going to school, get that higher education. And what I want to show you very quickly in my DB 101, and I'm sorry, I'm flipping around a lot, but my time is ticking. This is the school and work estimator. And I simply put in that a student was earning $250 in SSI, and they went to work for 10 hours at minimum wage. They're getting their full SSI check and their work income of $485. So they went from $250 to $735. They're contributing to the household, keeping their health care. And this is all because of what's called student earned income that allows individuals under the age of 22 in school to make a lot of money. It's actually $2,220 a month. All right, questions that are coming up in our last 3 minutes. Gina, what do we got here?
Absolutely. And I've been trying to answer some of them as I can. First, do you have a poll to launch?
I never launched my poll, but I will launch the survey. The poll was asking how many people currently use DB 101. But I do want to launch my poll.
Yeah, if we could do that at the very end, that works.
Yeah, we got like 3 minutes, so I'm gonna do it at the very end. I will give a poll, so don't leave me yet.
Okay,
Okay.
so the questions that I haven't been able to answer, what about individuals who do not have technology and are challenged with technology?
So those people who are challenged with technology and are not able to utilize it, I'm telling you, DB 101 is very easy, but if you don't have access, oh, and I want to show you, DB 101 is available. This is how it changes. Like, this is what it's going to look like on your phone. It's just going to have no pictures, all the same information. So that's the mobile responsiveness. Now, if you don't have technology, you're going to want to talk with someone who's going to be able to get you those connections to the benefit planners, all those professionals we talked about, to get the expert help, ask to connect to them, and they can work directly with you. So there's no reason not to have the information. Everyone should have access to the information. Yes, Gina.
My child is 18 and I get child support because my child is still in high school. Why would I apply for SSI for him now that he's 18 versus just continue to get child support?
I cannot answer individual questions. Your child may be more beneficial to get SSI. I don't know your situation, and I also don't know your child support agreement. So again, I cannot answer any specific questions. You may want to talk to a benefit counselor to see if that is something you want to do or not. Yes.
It's next question. You mentioned that the benefit estimator asks if you are a person who is 18 to 64 because 65 is considered full retirement. I thought it was based on birth date, at which time the benefit is then no longer considered SSDI.
Okay, so because there is a universal decision that it's 65, we cannot say each individual birth date and the month they were born to determine their retirement. So if anybody is over the age of 64, we would ask you to talk to a benefit counselor. The math would make the machine blow up to try to figure out, and it would be asking too much identifying information.
And that also answered another similar question. Next question, if you have a disability, live on your own with supports and receive benefits and want to work 30 hours, how would this work? I believe you answered that in going through the estimators.
Go into one of the estimators or quick estimators for SSI or SSDI, depending on what benefit you receive. Put it in, you'll find out exactly what's going to happen to you. It's not about how many hours of work, it's about how much do you need to live the life you want to live. Don't ever tell somebody, when they say how much I can earn, the answer is always, how much do you need? Find the right supports. DB 101 in Missouri will help you find those supports.
How are stipends viewed?
Again, individual, I can't tell you. Stipends could be for several different reasons. Individual questions, you're going to want to talk to a benefit counselor. Stipends could be different depending on what they're utilized for and where they're coming from.
What about parents and guardians who have disabled teens who are over 18? I think your answer will be the same.
They are adults and you will be able to work with them the same way. Guardianship does not change benefits. It just changes the rights to make decisions.
Should we avoid using the estimator with someone we are supporting if we do not know for sure things like SNAP amounts or if Medicaid is with or without spend downs?
So what you can do is this is where you want to go to what benefits do I get and find out for sure what benefits they get. Because you don't want to give somebody wrong information. You're very accurate on that. So you're going to want to be able to get that benefit planning query or utilize My Social Security Online. Find out what benefits do I get. Want right information in to get right information out.
As far as I can tell, I think we have answered all the questions. If I've missed one, please let us know.
One that I saw that was really important, is there a reading function where it will read it out loud for you?
Yes, this is fully accessible. You have the ability to have any screen reader. You also have the ability for those with dexterity problems or challenges to be able to maneuver through DB 101. We exceed all accessibility requirements.
Because you're World Institute Disability, that's right.
But we kind of created independent living. If we messed it up now, I'm pretty sure we get in trouble.
And
We still have some of our founders left.
if someone loses their job, what is the process getting back onto SSDI or SSI? I believe there's an article about it.
Yes, so it is depending on you need to be reporting your income on a regular basis. If Social Security tells you don't have to report, don't listen to them, report it anyhow. Social Security, bless their heart, does not know these rules. So you want to be reporting. If you're reporting regularly and you lose your job, you would report that. And within 2 months, depending on which part of Social Security you're in, your benefits will reapply. After 5 years, if all your benefits have stopped and 5 years later you lose your job, you can use expedited reinstatement. And that's all listed in there. You can go into the myth sections that I showed you. And if my benefits stop, I'll never get them on again. It talks about that right there for you.
And does this website replace a benefits counselor?
Never. So I am a benefit counselor. This is not to replace benefit counselors. It is not to make you an expert on benefit counseling. It is to give you information to support you. There are not enough benefit planners and counselors out there. There's not enough people to give you the information up front. We want to make sure you have information up front to be motivated towards employment. And if you need more help, we want you to go to those benefit planners. We want you to go into finding those advocates that can help and work with them. Because they're the ones that are going to help you. And those are free programs you can utilize. So not to replace, but to support. And as a benefit planner myself, who managed the full state of Arizona at one time, I used this right along with all my benefit planners.
And Nicholas, you're not replaceable for sure. So
Thank you. So I'm going to launch the survey right now. Maybe.
And if your questions weren't answered, we were collecting them. And as when we send out the recording, the PowerPoints, we'll also have the written responses, just because I know a few people did have to drop off because we went a little bit over. And we appreciate you going overtime, Nicholas.
Of course.
Get those answers.
I'm not finding my survey. I'm only finding my poll. I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, the poll, that's great.
Well, the poll says, do you use it now? Maybe it'll happen after I end the poll. So quickly answer. I'm sorry, it was supposed to be beforehand. So we're going to quickly do that. Maybe the survey will do as soon as I stop sharing or something.
Okay,
I don't
that's
really
perfect.
know. But people are answering, and we'll let that happen for just a moment. You will receive the PowerPoint as well as the recording. If you registered, you will receive it. Even if your friendly next door neighbor didn't attend and they registered, they're going to get it. And we will be having this video will be posted on several of the webinars with our funders. Again, that's the Division of Behavioral Health, Division of Developmental Disabilities, and the Developmental Disability Council. All
It-
right.
And what's great about the redesign, Nicholas, is I know you briefly talked about it, how they can save their sessions. So that means that if new information or they found out something else, or you didn't know the answer and you had to go look it up, you're able to get right back into where you were before and pick up where you left off
Yes.
and get a new estimation done.
Yes, I can very easily, like I showed, I went into DB 101. I registered so I can sign in. I go to my DB 101. Here's my youth demo that I showed you. It's right there, right where I left off. So I've stopped sharing, but now I'm not seeing where to launch my survey. And I made a survey. I know I did.
Or the second poll,
No,
how
it's
much
just
everyone loved
says,
it. No,
it-
that's okay.
but
You can send it
but
with
I
the
made
follow-up.
one. I made it. I'm looking. Why doesn't it say launch survey? Well, that's just annoying.
We are getting some nice comments.
Well, what we will do,
awesome.
is we will, send the survey out with the stuff we send out. We have somebody who raised their hand. I'm gonna slaughter your name and I really apologize. But I'm gonna I lost you. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of people here. I can't find your name now. I'm so sorry. Where'd she go?
Jermisha?
Yeah, where are they? Jermisha. I
I
can't
just
find
see
them.
the raised hand. I don't know how to.
I'm in the names and Jermisha is not coming up, and that's frustrating the heck out of me because I can see that. Okay. No, they're. Jermisha, are you able to put your question in the chat box? They're not on the list. Okay, I'm going to lower everyone's hands. Jermisha, if you could raise your hand again. It's supposed to go straight to the person and it's not doing it. There, I found you. You went to the very top. Go ahead. You should be able to unmute yourself now.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you. You got
Okay,
lost in the
thank you.
list.
But I was just gonna tell you, the survey is at the end. When I was logging out, I think it's like 3 questions. So once we go out, that's where you find it. So I don't think
Well-
you're able to see it until you exit out of the web, out
Well,
of the.
bless you for that information.
I love
Yeah.
when the
Teaching us
trainer learns
technology.
something. That's great. Thanks, Jermisha.
There we go. I love
Okay.
it. Any
No
training where the
problem.
trainer learns something is a good training.
And
All right,
thank
so
you.
you
It
will
was
have,
very
thank you.
good.
You will have a survey as you log out, everyone. And I appreciate for those who stayed on and watched me muddle through. And I'm glad it's recorded for all of history. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. Stacy, are there any last comments?
No,
Great.
just thank you so much. Everything was wonderful. I just think that we need more time. I think that we need to do more webinars like this because there were a lot of great questions. There are so many
Yes.
resources within disability benefits, DB 101, and just please share this far and wide, share this with as many people as you can so that self-advocates can be doing these estimators themselves. And
So
be
yes, this
competitive
is meant
employment.
for individuals with disabilities, our circle supports and our providers. And if your question wasn't answered, let us know and we will get an answer. But you know what? Go into DB 101 and play with it because I bet you the answer's in there. You won't break it. Go right ahead. It's there for your use. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to stop recording now.